Hi, I'm Eduardo and this is the JavaScript Haunted House. In this chapter, we're going to talk about arrays and how they will help us put the clues together and solve the mystery behind these walls. As we learned in the chapter about objects, almost everything in JavaScript is an object. Arrays are not an exception. In JavaScript, array is nothing more than a special object that provides a way to access and manipulate its properties through indexes. We use arrays to store multiple values in a single variable. We declare arrays by opening and closing square brackets. We can already set the values inside these brackets if we want. To set multiple values, just separate them with commas inside the brackets. It doesn't matter if there are spaces and line breaks inside the declaration, so we can use multiple lines to declare an array. Remember to never put a comma after the last element. This will cause inconsistency between different browsers. At the beginning of this chapter, I said JavaScript arrays are nothing more than a special object. So far, we've seen how to create an array, but now we need to understand how indexes work. Each element within an array has a numeric index that stores the position of our element inside it. The index count starts from 0. This is the way that indexes are placed inside an array. We use indexes to access elements inside an array. So, if we type the name of the array and the index we want to access inside brackets, it returns the value of that index. We can also use indexes to change the value of an element in the array. For example, let's change the value of the element with the index 1. We can just access this element and then assign another value to it. This array syntax we've seen so far is the literal form, and it's the easiest way to create arrays. Another way to create arrays is to use the new keyword. When you create an array using the new keyword, the result is almost the same as when we create a literal array. The array continues with the same indexes and everything still works the same way. But as it is a formal object, JavaScript needs more time to process the array. As a matter of speed issues in the implementation of code, simplicity and readability, always use the array literal. You can also use different types of variables within the array. You can use strings, numbers, functions, and even other arrays. Arrays are a special kind of object because it uses indexes to access their values, while objects use names to access their values. Be careful. If you use names in the indexes of an array, JavaScript will convert your array to a default object. This means that your array will no longer be a special type of object and will become a standard object. This will result in the loss of specific methods and properties of arrays, and it may produce incorrect results. An array is a special kind of object and has special methods and properties that make its handling a lot easier. For example, the length method returns the number of elements of the array. There are several methods we can use to manipulate arrays, and we're going to start with the most useful one, push. The method push adds new elements to the end of the array. Now that you've learned a bit about arrays, let's implement a new feature in our inventory. You may have noticed that there are clues in the wall, clues that will help us solve the mystery of this place. They are too long to be put in a slot, So let's create an array in our inventory to store them. That was easy. But that's just the first step. Now, clues is a property of our inventory object. We want to add new clues dynamically, so we're going to need a function to do so. Let's name it addClue, receiving as a parameter a clue. Very good. Our clues property is an array. In order to add new clues to the array, let's use a method we just learned, push. This will make a reference to this inventory, clues to access the array, and finally push clue, which was received as a parameter. Simple like that. Right now, our inventory already have the new functionality. Let's test it. Done. Mission accomplished. Moving on with our chapter, the pop method will remove the last element of the array. We can also assign the removed element to a variable. The shift and unshift methods are similar to pop and push methods. They remove and add elements, but unlike pop and push, shift and unshift removes and add elements at the beginning of the array. The unshift adds an element to the beginning of the array, while the shift method removes the element. The join method joins all the elements of an array to a string, using the separator passed as an argument on the function call. The sort method will sort the array elements in alphabetical order. Now that you know how to use arrays, did you hear that? I think we should try to get out of here as soon as possible. Good luck, see you soon.